All right, class, this next video is going to talk about CHC factors. This could be a little overwhelming, so I'm going to go through this very carefully, and please let me know if you have any questions. So what we did as an activity is I had each student in class look up a CHC factor. For example, if you look at Jane Smith's score report, you'll see next to comprehension knowledge, you'll see GC. These factors will be on every single printout you print and look at in the future, so I want to make sure you know what these factors mean. I don't expect you to memorize it, but at least know where to go so you understand these score reports as well as possible. So we went over GC, GF, GWM, GS, GA, GLR, GV. Okay, CHC factors. So I'm going to talk about each one for a little bit here, talk about possible implications and possible recommendations. So comprehension knowledge, which is GC. You could also look at this, and I numbered it, okay? We're going to talk about those CHC factors. So what is GC? What is GC? It's comprehension knowledge. And what I have in front of me, you also have a copy of, and it's under the WJ recommendations, CHC factor explanation and recommendations. You have a link to this under week 1 as well. So GC involves expressive vocabulary, ability to grasp the relationships among word meanings. GC is often called crystallized intelligence. Possible implications: comprehending someone talking, comprehending oral and written language. Students, if they don't have a working vocabulary of the world, then they will have a hard time comprehending what people tell them. And possible recommendations would be providing vocabulary instruction. There are more possible recommendations. I just gave you one. Okay, next one, GF. What does GF stand for? Fluid reasoning. Involves the ability to inductive and deductive reasoning to ascertain commonalities and differences, form concepts, generate rules, and apply rules, often called fluid intelligence. So if Jane Smith has a low score in GF, fluid reasoning, which is a cluster on the score report, that would mean that she has a problem drawing inferences, thinking conceptually, and problem solving. And if she has a low score in those areas, then you would need to teach problem solving strategies. Teach strategies to increase understanding and retention of concepts. And you can see I got those. There's more recommendations. Okay, the third one, short-term memory, GSM. Okay, involves the ability to hold information in mental awareness within a few seconds. Possible implications: following directions, remembering information, recalling sequences. So if Jane Smith has a low score in this area, we recommend that you ensure that directions are understood and have the student paraphrase directions. Okay, that's one recommendation of many. Okay, GS, what is that? Processing speed, a cluster on Jane Smith's score report. It involves the ability to perform relatively simple cognitive tasks automatically, quickly, without conscious deliberation. If somebody struggles with that, processing speed, they possibly will not be able to complete assignments within time limits, which means time tests would be a problem. Possible recommendations: provide more time to complete assignments and provide more time to complete tests. Okay, number 5, auditory processing, which is GA. So if Jane Smith struggles with auditory processing, possible implications would, a speech would be affected, speech perception, developing musical skills, acquiring phonics, just learning foreign languages, We often hear they're either a visual learner or auditory learner. I believe you can be taught how to learn both ways, but some people prefer one modality over another. So if auditory processing speed is low, you would need to provide specific training in sound discrimination, blending, and segmentations. And there's other possible recommendations. I'm taking these from the list here. Okay, 6, a long-term retrieval, which actually is a score Jane Smith was very low in. So, ability to store and retrieve information through association. Memorization, fluency, retrieval. Jane Smith does struggle in this area, so she struggled recalling information on tests through association, impairing and retaining visual with auditory information. Possible recommendations: review, repeat, provide a list of steps, and help them organize so you can facilitate recall. Okay, number 7, quantitative ability, ability to comprehend quantitative concepts, relationships, and to manipulate numerical symbols. If they are low in this area, they'll have issues understanding math terminology and using numeric concepts. Possible recommendation: use manipulatives or real objects, and introduce new concepts with an association of something they can connect to. Calculators and fact charts. Okay, those are just a couple of recommendations of many others you could use if they are low in this cluster. Okay, that is all I went over the other night. So basically what I just did is I talked about these clusters, and I talked about these clusters on Jane Smith's profile. Possible implications and possible recommendations, and I also included a quick definition. And all of this and everything I read from, you have a copy of. It looks like this under week 1 under the CHC Factors link.